I myself have picked her up and transported her between, couches and beds and vehicles.
When I met her, she
We're always happy and go lucky and wanted to help, and so we wanted to help them as well. And it's like, well, that seems weird. I bet you they got their Facebook account hacked and somebody's playing games with them.
And then
We go over to the house.
I was leaving messages on the machine. Dee Dee, could you please call me back, or at least pick up the phone? Let me know that everything's okay. When we got to Dee Dee and Gypsy's house, the car was in the driveway. Something didn't feel right.
We walked up to the house and started knocking on the door, and nobody's answering.
I knocked on the windows and we shouted their names.
At that point, I was starting to feel a little anxious, so I had Kim call the police department to see if they could come do a wellness check. When the police showed up, we realized that the kitchen window was actually unlocked. The police explained to us that since there doesn't appear to be a break-in of any kind, that there is no legal means for them to be able to just enter the property. So I asked them if there was going to be any reason why I couldn't go in the house, and I was told that would be okay. First thing that I noticed when I got inside, other than it being dark, is that it was extremely cold. It's like the air conditioner had been on full blast and just constantly running. And the house looked normal. I was just looking to see if I could find any people or anything that really just struck me as odd. Like overturned furniture or things that are broken. Gypsy's wheelchairs are still sitting in the living room, and her electric wheelchair was in the bathroom. So that means all three of the wheelchairs that I knew that she had were in the house. In Gypsy's room, everything is just typical kids' room. Dee Dee's bed was unmade. There was a lot of blankets on it, but nothing looked out of sorts.
When Dave told the cop what was in the house, which included all three of Gypsy's wheelchairs, I just knew that something was wrong.
Kim and I both felt that the police were doing their due diligence and trying to figure out where Dee Dee and Gypsy were, so we went home. I wake up and turn on the news.
The Greene County Sheriff has new information about a mother found murdered at her home and her missing daughter. Let's go live now to that neighborhood.
48-year-old Dee Dee Blanchard's body was found in her house late Sunday night. The sheriff isn't saying how she died, but has said her death was violent. Investigators continued searching for her daughter, 19-year-old Gypsy, through the night. One thing that worried friends and helped investigators with their case.
I was floored. I didn't understand. I was in that house. How could I have missed something like that?
The overall feeling was,
I could not think of anybody who would want to cause any kind of harm to Dee Dee and Gypsy.
Dee Dee and Gypsy and their thoughts.
I do remember thinking that it was Ʇᴜᴱ who was a mastermind behind it all, but it slowly came to light that through talking with the detectives and seeing the news broadcast that there was a lot more that we weren't aware of. I cocked my head and was like, that's not her. And I had to rewind multiple times just for it to truly sink in that she is actually walking into the courtroom up to a podium.